Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back to review The Lord of the Rings of Power. And we
hmm
were away, so we have 3 episodes we actually
Yeah,
have to
we're
get
catching
into.
up. a
Three,
little,
four, and
little, we're
five.
busy.
Right,
we're busy, but yeah,
so
we're catching
actually
up.
Keo was busy because it's the summer DJ time, and so he's DJing a
Yeah,
lot.
it's wedding
I've been
season and party
wedding
season.
season, right? Exactly. I've been busy packing up because I am actually moving. I
hmm
bought a house in Numenor. I bought a house in
Yeah,
Numenor,
Numenor.
Numenor because Numenor is awesome looking, isn't it?
It's popping, man. Yo, it's the city
I
of
am
men, yo.
buying a house in Numenor, period. Where I am leaving
That's so
America,
hot.
I am buying a house
Yeah,
in Numenor because
yeah,
Numenor looks awesome.
yeah. They got the waterfront. You get a beachfront house.
You
Yo,
got
you
you
got
got
fishing down
statues,
there.
waterfalls. I mean,
That like
it kind of
that's
looks like
incredible, man.
an old Mediterranean town, doesn't
Mhm.
it? Just right on the
Yeah, it's got the
Mediterranean
vibe of
Sea.
like Cyprus or something like that, like
Yeah,
some kind of
it's
island.
it's man, it's this. I'll say this about thus far, and I'm just going to talk about thus far what I've seen. Obviously, the visuals are dope. The
Yeah, the
story,
visual is stunning.
just the storytelling, right? Even though
Mhm.
it's laggy, the storytelling and the conversations and all the sort of things that happen between people communicating, I do like that, right? I don't. Again, I love the visuals. It's stunning. It's cinematic, the whole nine. But thus far, five
Mhm.
episodes in, I can't see a $500 million production here yet. Can you?
Well, I think the biggest problem for the money spent or whatever is that it doesn't feel like it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you have the 3 storylines, basically. You have the Galadriel, you have the Harfoots, and then you have, what's the name that's in the with the, dwarves. Like, you have these 3
Oh,
storylines.
Elron.
Yeah, Elrond, he's with the
Mhm.
dwarves. Like you're like, okay, well, this is going somewhere, but it's taking too long to reveal what the point of all this is. And so I think that it's difficult to get into it, especially if you don't know anything about this world and this universe. Because the world is like it's so vast
Yeah.
and interesting. So you could have done a show just on like the Hobbits or Harfoots, whatever. You could have done just on the dwarfs because like the Hobbit movie is just like mainly about the dwarfs. So you could do about that. Like Lord of the Rings is about man, and so like you could have done like a whole area just on one of these areas with one of these cultures, whatever. It would be interesting, but you have to explain the conflict and where it's going and why and who you're
I
fighting, what
don't.
you're doing. Like,
I
because
don't
like
even
people
know.
read the books, they
Mhm.
know who Sauron is because they've seen him from Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
Or the movies, wherever they know who. It's explained to everybody. This is the bad guy. This is where he's at.
Hmm.
He's got a castle of Mount Doom. He's got this big eye over there. He's watching everything. Yada yada. Okay, be mad at those guys. But like it's kind of vague about what's going on, what they're doing, and why, and it kind of drags the storyline down for me because I want to get to it. Like I want to see some action, I want to see some adventure. There's no real adventure. It's like a lot of talking. They go someplace, walking around talking. Go
Hmm.
another place, walking around talking. Like, where's the adventure part?
Lot of like drone shots. I mean, again,
Yeah,
visually, it's awesome.
it looks great.
I think as a newbie because I'm coming
hmm
into it, right? I've never seen the movies. I'm pure, right? And you
hmm
you make a very good point. So here's a series that's new on Amazon. It's not quite like the books, or it's slightly
Yeah,
different,
they're doing their
right?
own thing.
Right. So you make a very good point. So I'm going into this new, and I'm just like, okay, who are the orcs? Where did they come from? No one told me that, right?
Yeah,
No one
yeah,
like,
yeah.
who are these people? Why do they look weird? Why? How did they
Mhm.
start looking like that? I mean, was it some sort of a disaster or something? What's going on, right? Other
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah.
why is it always in these weird movies that you have these people who don't look like humans, but sort of,
Mhm,
kind of, but they're
mhm.
always ruled by a human, right? It's like zombies ruled by a human, like space aliens, ruled by a human. I don't get that. I was like,
Mhm.
how did that happen? But it would.
Yeah, it's
You're
like a
right.
that's an
It,
awkward storytelling trope.
yeah, it would have been nice to know who are the orcs. Why are they so like violent?
Mhm,
Just and it's You don't necessarily have to go back and watch, like basically, 9 or 10 hours of
It's
movies.
It's close to 10 hours a
10
movie.
hours, right, just to figure out who the orcs
That's
are and
just
who
Lord of the
everyone else is.
Rings. That's not the
Right. So
Hobbit.
we're not even talking about the Hobbits, and that's like what, another 3 movies?
Yeah, it's another 3 movies. So you're
That's
like
what I mean.
another eight
So you could
hours
be in
of
like,
movie.
like 18 hours and just to find out who the orcs are, they could have done a really good job explaining like who these different
Yeah.
factions are, right? Just like the orcs are these people.
Mhm.
I'm starting to wrap my head around
Mhm.
why the Southlands are like so important and why they're being invaded, right? And why,
Mhm.
people want to go back there and sort of defend it. But
Yeah.
I
It's
thought that in the
important to
last
the all of this stuff is important to the movies and the books.
right.
But like if you don't know anything about it, you're like, what the hell is who's this guy? Why is this guy
Yeah.
important? Like Isildur is one of the most important people in Lord of the Rings. But he's just some punk kid that's like he's going sailing right now. So it doesn't explain why he's important or whatever. He's vital to the books of Lord of the Rings. He's vital to this thing. He's the beginning of the entire story. Is Isildur.
So wait a minute. So he's been marginalized in this series.
Yeah, well, he's like it's like a coming of age story for him. Like he doesn't know what he's gonna do.
Oh, okay, okay.
He he's vital to the Lord of the Rings storyline.
Mm.
Without him, this thing ends very poorly. Right? It's vital that he exists. And he's running a army, whatever he's doing with his father.
Let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, you've watched the movies. You've watched all the Hobbit movies too?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've
Okay.
seen all this stuff.
So here we
I'm a
are, Lord
nerd.
of the Rings, the Rings of Power. You've seen
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit movies, everything.
yeah.
Where are we? I mean, is this just like, did this just miss the point so big time, or what's going on?
I think so. I think
Mhm.
this is poor writing on their part because, like, because they don't have the full rights to Lord of the Rings, the whole series and characters, whatever. They've tried to cut a corner, talking about a point in time in history that's like 1,000 years, 2,000 years before all the stuff happens to Lord of the Rings. Because the elves are basically immortal, so they'll be alive for however a millennia of years, right? But so this is like 1,000 years before Lord of the Rings happens, and that's the only part that they could buy without getting the rights to the books or whatever. I think
Right.
they officially bought the rights to now. I think they got everything together now, but so basically Tolkien wrote a book and then an encyclopedia called a Similarian or something like that. And then he had like letters to fans and people that explaining what he wrote and whatever. And in a roundabout way, these guys bought rights to this area of that's not in the books and decide to tell a story. And that's why it's kind of like it's kind of vague and no structure because like the books are clear exactly what's going to happen. The Hobbit is clear exactly what's going to happen and where. And these guys cut out this little area where it's vague so they don't have to, copyright issues, kind of like things. Like perfect example of this is Star Trek, like the current version of Star Trek. They don't have the full rights to it, so they have to change the uniform. That have to change the backstory of the characters just slightly, like it's like 20% or something. So
Yeah.
they get around the copyright thing. And
Right,
it's the
right, right.
same situation here. They
Mhm.
had to change stuff, so they didn't have the rights to the hobbits, so they got the Harfoots, which is basically a hobbit, but they're dirty and
I,
with no
I,
morals.
I call the Harfords the Flintstones
Yeah,
because
yeah, basically.
they're the
It's the
Flintstones.
Flintstone
Come on.
hobbits. Because the hobbits, they're all clean, they're wearing all suits,
No,
they're
these
they're
fools are
like doing
dirty, and
farming.
man, they
These
are
guys are
dirty.
dirty, yo.
They are the Flintstones. That's what they are. I mean, the way they were traveling through just through the different lands just to get to where they wanted to go to with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
big, the big wheels and everything. I'm just like, man, they look like the Flintstones. This looks like the
Yeah, it's
Flintstones.
exactly what it is. We're
I
there like watching Hanna-Barbera and like, yo, we got an idea. Like,
right. I heard something. I was listening to a podcast and they were
mhm,
talking about this is a political story slightly, right? So the person who's running for prime minister in Italy is a woman. Her name is
mhm,
Giorgio Melania or something like that. Anyway, she's part of a far right
mhm,
group, right? This far right group was created about 30, 40 years ago. It was a far right, youth movement. And
Mm-hmm.
the books they were reading to actually put their political ideology together, it all started with Lord of the Rings. No,
That's hilarious.
this is on the real, right?
That is
So
hilarious.
now I'm like, well, wait a minute. How does the Lord of the Rings book,
Mm-hmm.
translate into some sort of a, political
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? Like, and the only thing I can think about is like the orcs, right? Because the orcs are like, we want to control everything. We want to destroy everything. We want to control it. We want to be in
Mm-hmm.
charge, right?
Well, the orcs are the foot soldiers of Sauron. It's like there's a bad guy, and they're like lieutenants or soldiers, whatever. They
Mhm.
go out and do his dirty work. But like the Lord of the Rings books was initially the reason why they wrote this book is because Tolkien wanted to have some kind of like like how like Sweden and all those other countries, Nordic countries that have Thor, they have these kind of tales.
Yeah.
Like he
Mhm.
wanted to come up with like a magical tale for England, and so like there's culture and stuff like that is like Northern England and like Ireland and all this other stuff. Like he's trying to do like some kind of uh tale for the history of England before anything happened. That's originally purpose of the book.
Yeah.
And wherever people took it and made a left turn somewhere, like I don't know, but
Use it politically.
that's the original purpose of it.
Yeah.
Like Greeks got the Greek mythology,
Mhm.
whatever. That's what he wanted for England. That's what Lord of the Rings is.
I'm not quite sure how you can take a, magic fantasy thriller book or,
Mm-hmm.
franchise
Mm-hmm.
and then translate that into like political power or political
I
instability.
don't understand that
I don't
either.
understand
That's
that. I mean,
incredible.
like these like 20, these 15 and 18-year-olds were coming up in this like far right young group, and
Yeah,
the
and they all read
readings
the Lord.
were
That is
Lord of the
crazy to
Rings,
me.
dude. Lord of the
Because like
Rings.
if you read the book, like it's a cautionary tale about like how men are evil, and like the whole thing about the Ring of Power is that it corrupts everybody who gets around it, and so like that's why the hobbits were there, because like they're innocent, and Gandalf thought, hey, we'll give it to the most innocent creature on this planet, and they can help us destroy it because they're not going to get corrupted by the evil around them in society and culture or whatever. That's the whole point of the story, is
Yeah.
avoiding evil, to be against evil. So the fact you can get it and try and turn it, that's crazy to me. That's wild. I don't know how you do that.
Was Numenor in the original Lord of the Rings movies?
Yeah, they got
Okay.
basically the places, and some of the people are from the original thing.
Mhm.
Like Galadriel is important to the Lord of the Rings books, and I can't remember. She's in the Hobbit too.
Okay.
So like yeah, she's an important person, but like she's not a warrior princess. She's not Xena or or like Wonder Woman. She's basically like a like a elf kind of queen witch kind of thing. But like she's
Mhm.
chilling with her husband. Like she got time to go battle with orcs. Like she's chilling with her husband and kids, whatever. She's relaxing, man.
Yeah. So
She's a million years old. She's good.
so we don't have any hobbits in the Lord of the Rings this series. We don't have. They're calling them Harforts.
Yeah, because they don't have the rights to them. That's why.
Well, who are the who are the just the shorter people?
The dwarfs. The dwarfs are in
I'm
there.
trying to be politically correct here, dude.
that term is dwarfs. Like that's the term for
Okay,
dwarfs.
okay. So the dwarfs and the hobbits are totally two different like sects of people.
Yeah. The dwarfs are they dig and mine. That's their culture. They're
Okay.
underground
All
all the
right.
time. They mine for gold and
And they eat a
jewels or
lot.
whatever. Yeah, they like to eat and drink and be
Be
impolite.
yeah, right. Um s-
they're it's the dwarfs like Scottish or whatever. Like they all got the accent. I think it's
yeah.
Scottish.
First of all, is this the most
Mhm.
expensive production, Hollywood production ever? Like
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
series.
by
Okay,
far,
so
by a
this is
country mile, is
so
the
this
biggest,
is
most expensive
so
thing.
their budget for season one was $500 million, correct?
Well, like no, that they spent 250 million to buy the rights, and then they spent the other 200 and something million building the sets and making the show for the first season. The seasons after that are not going to cost $500 million. They're going to
Right.
cost like 20 million, whatever it's going to
Right. Because
cost.
they already have the sets and
But
everything.
because
Right.
everything's already built. But like they built the sets in New Zealand, and New Zealand was like, well, we're not changing our rules for the pandemic, so they moved everything to England, rebuilt it, and that tripled the cost and all this other stuff. And
Okay.
they had setbacks because there's this thing is supposed to come out like years ago, at least like 2-3 years ago. They're supposed to come out.
Okay, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that they
Mm-hmm.
had a $250 million budget for 9 episodes. And I always
Mm-hmm.
go back to Jupiter's Legacy, which was 12
Mm-hmm.
episodes or 10 episodes for $130 million, right? This is
Yeah.
9
It cost a
episodes for
grip.
$250 million. I would think
Mm-hmm.
that with a budget like that, with 5 episodes and we have 4 episodes left, where's the bang bang? Where's the battles?
They gotta get to it, man.
I
Because Lord of the
mean,
Rings and The Hobbit
where are they?
it's built around the battle part and the armies and stuff. That both of those books got armies and wars in them. Both of them,
Yeah.
and especially the movies. The movies
And,
got some of the craziest war scenes I've ever seen in a movie.
oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
You need to watch this thing. The two towers
Okay,
of Return of the King.
Listen, I am
war.
watching these movies because you're telling me all this stuff, and I'm just like, wow, really? Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to watch it.
I'm a sci-fi fan. I was not really a fantasy fan.
Yeah.
And I watched I watched the first Lord of the Rings movie. And I was like, oh damn, oh this is good. I was like, oh snap. I told my sister about it. She hates this stuff, but she's like, oh, this is amazing. And so like for the last couple of years, we've been watching every Christmas, we've been watching Lord of the Rings. The whole 9 hours. The extended version. Like because like I was like, this is really good. This is an excellent story.
That's like back in the day, when Christmas was around, Christmas Eve, we always watch the Wizard of Oz. That always comes on.
Yeah, that
Eve
kind of
America,
thing.
That's
It came on. It was on TV one day. I was like, yo, we need to make this a tradition. So yeah, we were watching like, every year. We were watching Lord of the Rings
with commercials. So it's basically like 6 hours with commercials.
No, we're the extended 3-hour movie, whatever, 3.5 hours. When each of them, all 3 movies. We get breakfast, watch the first movie, get lunch, watch the second movie, then chill out for a little bit, go to the store, come back, then watch the third movie, and end it off with the night.
Well, Amazon has all of them, the extended versions, the original versions, all the Hobbit movies, everything. They have everything.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we watched 3 episodes, 3, 4, and 5.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel closer to understanding what the hell is going on after these last 3 episodes?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So, okay, the 3 episodes we watched, right? I watched them back to back, and the reason why I watched them back to back is because the storytelling is really good. I mean, just regardless of like the action and everything, I wish there was more. But how they're progressing from episode to episode with the storytelling is on point. The visuals are on point, right? But I don't know about anything else, man. I'm just like
something feels off, right? You can't.
It's something off because I'm like, it's so big budget, and I'm like, where is the big budget? I mean, like, what's going? I mean, is someone skimming off the top or something? What's going on?
Here's the thing, right?
Now, but really quickly though, I do sort of understand what's going on in this series, right? And let me tell you, if you let me say it, and you tell me if you think I'm right or not.
Okay.
Just based on the 3 episodes we saw, right? The orcs are trying to take over the Southlands, right? So they're like tunneling under
for Sauron,
right?
For Sauron, yeah.
Even though what is his name? Adon
Adar.
Adar is like running. He's again, we don't know who Sauron is yet, right? But Adar is basically running, right? So
Yeah.
I do get that, and I also get that Numenor and the elves are going to go to Southland and try to
Hmm.
defend it because from the orcs, right? And
Yeah.
it looks like there are a
Numenor is
lot
supposed
of
to be
orcs.
destroyed. Numenor is not going to make it. They're going to
It
have a great problem.
I see all the visions that they're having about Numenor, and which is sad
Yeah,
because
they
I
do
just bought
make
a
it.
piece of property there and I was going to build my new home in Numenor.
It's a
And now I'm not
beachfront.
going to be able to do that because there's going to be a really huge flood. So I'm not quite sure
Yeah,
if that's something I'm
they
going to
ain't
be
gonna
able to
make
do.
it. It's gonna be a
They're
tough
not
time
going to
for them
make it.
down there.
So I do
Yeah.
sort of understand what they're trying to do, even though they're taking a
Mhm.
long time to get to that point, right?
Well, I mean, like the basic storytelling is like you have the people in the different sections. Uh, so like that for each section, you're like, okay, I get what's happening here,
Mhm.
but I meant like the overall story for why they're doing this in the first place. Like, what is that? Do you know?
No, because
Yeah, this
I
is
don't.
big, right?
Right, because if you take the first two episodes, they kind
Mhm.
of don't have anything to do with the
The
last three
last three,
episodes, right?
yeah, they don't.
And whatever her name is, Caladria or whatever her name is,
Galadriel.
yeah, Galadriel, she's on a mission herself. She is trying to just I guess just find her own path and like just sew up some things that happened in her past, so she's
Yeah,
trying to like
I
clear her
I do not
name.
like her, man. Or this interpretation of her, I didn't like her.
I kind of like her sometimes. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah,
I think
she's annoying.
she's a bit
Like
too brash,
Kate
Yeah.
Blanchett played her in the movies,
Oh, really?
and like yeah, and she's super chill. Like she's like, "Hi,
Yeah.
Frodo." Like she's like all nice and whatever. And then she sees the ring. She's like, "Oh damn, get this thing out of here, man! Like right now." But like,
Wow.
she's like super nice and like it's like ethereal, like just
Hmm.
like angelic. That's how she's on the thing. But like in the show, like she's going around punching people. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like two different people. It's not the same person.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Hmm.
get the vibe. It's the same person. But like my thing is that like this thing is leading up to the battle for the Lord of the Rings at the beginning of. Well, I think it's in the Return of the King. Uh, the Gandalf is talking about Gandalf and somebody else is talking about what the hell happened because they were there when all this the original battle happened for the
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings, and so this show is supposed to be leading up to that original first battle with the Sildor,
Hmm.
but like that's a long way off because Sildor is still a kid and Sauron hasn't put his armies together yet. And like it's a bunch of stuff hasn't really happened yet. And so like we got a ways to go before we even get to that battle. I don't know. I don't know how
Man.
they're gonna land this plane, man. To be honest.
Yeah. I mean, because just I read the comments, man, and
Mhm.
man, this show is being ripped apart. I mean,
Yeah,
literally.
because like you're like, this is not the movies.
But
Like
I
this is
mean,
not.
right, but I think you people have to realize that I'm going to take something and I'm going to put
Mhm.
my creativity on it. I'm going to put my touch on it. I get the people with the book because these books, I mean, again, and I have been like just listening to
Yeah, yeah.
other
Well, because the books
podcasts
are the
about,
books are different from the movies too. But like
yeah.
people are like, this is not the movies. You guys told us this was the movies. This is not the movies. I don't know who these people are. They're different
Now,
from their characters. They're like Elrond's different.
mhm,
Uh Galadriel's different. Like it's
yeah.
everybody's like they have a they're like the way they present themselves, the way they're acting is completely different. And I think that's the disconnect from like the people like because me personally, I haven't read the book. I just started reading the book just recently. I never read the book before. I never cared about any of this stuff. I'm not a big fantasy fan, but I was like, I love the movies. Movies are awesome. So let me see what this thing is about. But the people who watch the movies, this has been presented to them as this is a prequel to the movies, but it's not a prequel to the movies at
No, it's
all.
something totally different.
It's something totally different.
You
They took
know,
a left turn and somewhere else. Past
you
the
know,
Shire, they went a left turn.
some of the shows we watch that are episodic and they are based
Mhm.
off of books, the comments, they always say, it's not true to the book, yada, yada,
Yeah,
yada, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. I was reading something where they were saying the new show Andor on
Mhm.
Disney Plus, that show is
Mhm.
like 99 to 100% true to the book.
Okay.
Wow.
Alright. That's interesting.
Wow.
because I liked Rogue One. That's the only new recent Star Wars movie that I like. Rogue One was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great movie, and he's in it, and he's the main character in Rogue One. I'm gonna watch the show. I haven't had any chance to watch it. I'm gonna try and take some time this week to watch it. But I get we every time we do a movie or a TV show that's based on a book, whatever. Like I get people's disgust that this
Yeah.
is not similar to what they were promised, or whatever.
It's
Like
not the
I totally
same.
get it, man.
Hmm.
I get it. In some places like you can't, but like in a show like this where they have the money and the resources,
They got the money.
I don't know, man. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah. You
Because
know,
like before the movies came out, and you said, "Oh, we're gonna do this thing is different from the books," I'm like, "All right, cool." But the movies exist, and you have 6 of them.
could,
So
could it also be this though too, right? I mean, this is like this show, and I keep saying the storytelling is off the chain. You
Mhm,
cannot deny that. So I'm watching the last 3 episodes, and I'm watching it and I'm like, I love the storyline
mhm.
and the storytelling so well. I'm like, do I even need a battle? Because I like the story, you know?
Nah,
So I'm
you need a
just
battle, man. We
but
need
but I'm just
battles.
but I'm just saying, like,
No, no,
because I
I get
was
your point.
because I thought the battle was gonna happen in episode 4, it did not. And then obviously we thought it was gonna happen in
Mhm.
episode 5 and it didn't happen, right? Which is weird because they were all gearing up in a whole nine, and then now we gotta wait for a battle. If you
Yeah, but like
remember, and
who are they gonna fight? Who
they're
are they
fighting the
fighting?
orcs on the Southlands.
Yeah, but oh, okay.
That's
I
where they're
guess.
going. The
Okay.
elves and Numenor are like linking up together, and they're going to the Southlands to fight the enemy there, and the orcs are there. So that's who they're going
Mhm,
to fight. But I will
mhm,
say this, right? Again, because the storytelling is so well,
mhm.
I'm not even sure if I needed a battle because I just kind of like the story. Now, I will say this though.
It's part of the culture to have a battle in there.
Right, I know, but I will say this, like when we watch Kenobi, we had a
Mhm.
battle like at the basically the last episode, right? If
Yeah.
they give us the epic battle at the last episode here, which is only 9 episodes, man, that's going to be a complete disappointment, isn't
That's what they're gonna do. If they
it?
I don't know if
No,
they're
wait a
even gonna
minute.
have a
No,
battle this
that
season.
man, that's like that is so lame. It's so lame
Yeah.
to say, you know what? I am going to keep you. I am going to
Mhm,
keep your eyeballs here, and I am going
mhm.
to like keep, giving you these cliffhangers, and then at the last episode, we are going to do the epic battle. That is so weak and
Well,
lame and
because here's the
lazy.
thing, like, Galadriel's storyline is so convoluted and roundabout. Because, like, she was supposed to go to the faraway lands and on the boat, and she decides that I'm gonna jump off this boat. I'm not gonna do that anymore, right? And then she gets shipwrecked, and then luckily they go to Numenor, whatever the stupid country is. They decide to
Numenor.
go there. Numenor. They decide to go there, and then she's
Wait a
like,
minute.
"Hey, I need an
Wait a minute.
army."
You cannot call my new city Numenor, which I just bought property and I'm building a house in. Stupid. I have a new house in
I gotta roll
Numenor.
my R's. You gotta
I,
roll your R's,
I
right?
wonder if Numenor has like if they do annual like EDM festivals or something like that, because it would be dope right there on the water
It'll
with
be
the
off the chain.
statues, the waterfalls. You
That
know what I'm saying?
that
All that
would
sort of
definitely be
stuff.
off the chain.
That'd be off the
But I mean,
chain.
like, so Galadriel's story, she had no intention to go get an army, but now she's gonna get an army. Like, as a storytelling method,
Mm.
it was a roundabout way. Like the story would have been better served if she met with these things like, hey, or whatever king for the elves, and like, hey, we need to go. I gotta go. How talk to these humans? We need some more soldiers. Go deal with this thing in the Southlands. And they're like, okay, cool, bet. And then she decides to go over there on the boat and goes right to the Numenor. You gotta roll your R's. And she gets the
Numenor.
army,
Hmm.
and they head back over to the battle, and then that's the storyline. But like it was like this all roundabout way. She's in the mountains. She's not like she's
Yeah.
all over the place. Like the storytelling would have been more concise if they got straight to the point. Like like we're going. It should be A to B. Like boom, this is what it
Yeah.
is.
That's right.
But instead, we're like this over here, this here, and so like it made it more convoluted and kind of unnecessary. Especially because she had no intention of getting an army. She was going over to wherever the elf heaven. That's where she was planning to go. and she just hopped off the boat, and now she needs an army. Like, say like,
In the army, you know what she's not trying to do? She's trying to find her path. Like she's trying to clear her name, right?
yeah, but
The
like it's
and
so convoluted.
yeah, and the other thing is this. Like I said, I do like the storytelling. However, there are
Mhm.
some gaps thus far. Like for instance, for me,
It's a lot of gaps.
who are the Hartfords, or the Flintstones? Who are they? Why are they in here? Do we? Let me ask you this here: do we need the Flintstones in this series? Because I don't understand what they're here for.
Now
Do we
here's the
need
thing.
them?
I think the writers are like, everybody likes the hobbits. Everyone loves Frodo. We need the hobbits in this. Oh, we can't. We don't have the rights for hobbits. All right, we'll make the Harfoots in there. There's no purpose to them.
Right. So that's the point I'm trying to make. It's like the
And
Flintstones, there is no need for the Flintstones at all.
the Flintstones are evil as shit, man. Let's
Really.
talk about that.
Mhm.
Those guys are evil. They're like, oh, you broke your leg? Sorry, peace out, man. Good
Like
luck to you.
you're at
Like,
the
yo,
back of the caravan, dude. Bye bye.
back in the caravan, get eaten by wolves. Like, yo, what the
Right.
hell?
The other hole
They're
is
evil.
who's the giant? Who is he? Who's Merlin?
But that's the thing. Like,
That's what I'm calling him. Who's Merlin? Who is he?
there's a guesstimate that's probably Gandalf,
Mhm.
but we don't know because everyone's being extra vague, and I don't know what they're doing with this storyline. It's a weird
Who
storyline.
let me ask you this here. Are there giants in like the movies?
No, this is regular sized humans.
So this is totally new.
The Harfoots are like 3 feet tall.
But what about that giant guy? I mean, is that totally new
That's
too?
a regular sized human.
Wh-
The Harfoots and the
he
Hobbits
looks
are
like
3
he's
feet
seven
tall.
feet tall. So the I guess the
They're
Flintstones are what, like 3 feet
The
tall?
Flintstones are super tiny. They're real tiny. And then dwarfs are
Okay,
tiny, and then the
listen.
elves are tall.
Okay, the Flintstones are dumb short. This guy is probably just 6 feet tall, as
Yeah,
tall as me.
this is the hilarious part, right? You have no idea about any of this stuff because they didn't explain it to you properly.
Yeah.
If you're coming into this thing and you don't know anything about the books or the movies, this seems insane to you. Like, where's the giant guy coming from? What's he doing? Where's he from? They've never
Now,
explained it.
we do know that we hope that they're going to tie
Mhm.
that in. But this guy came out of the sky and we still don't know 5 episodes in. This guy
They
just
explain.
he literally dropped out of the sky,
Yeah, they
right?
explain what he is, what he's
What he
doing. So
is. What is he doing here?
the theory on the internet is this is Gandalf, and this is where he comes to Middle Earth. That's the theory, but I don't know. I
Wow.
don't know enough about the lore. I don't know enough about books to say if this is true or not. They're hinting that it could be Gandalf. He's acting like Gandalf, but even though he can't speak, it's weird. All this is weird. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
is this guy Merlin? Is he Jesus? Because he kind of looks like Jesus, right? I mean, he could be,
He's
right?
a he's a wizard.
He's
He's
a
just a wizard.
wizard.
He's gonna turn into Gandalf the White. He's gonna ride this
Mhm.
white horse.
A
This is
white horse,
was a
really.
Farfax, the Lord of the Horses. Where
Wow.
it's hilarious. I forgot the name of the horse. He's gonna turn into Gandalf the White. He's a
Oh,
wizard.
oh,
There's only a
okay.
couple wizards on Middle Earth. There's only a couple.
Yeah, and then they broke away to these sort of like um women warriors, like, and I'm just like, why did they show them? Like, who are they?
Again, they do
Like in white
I
outfits. I'm
think
like, who are they?
the problem with the story, and for me in particular, who's a fan of this stuff, is that they're trying to be so mysterious rather than being like, yo, this is Gandalf, this is this guy, these
Yeah,
guys work for Sauron, this does this, yada yada yada. Just get to it. I don't need eight episodes of mystery. Like
yeah,
I don't need that.
yeah.
Get to
It
it. Tell me what it
it
is and let's go.
it's like it's like when creative people try so
Mhm.
hard to show that they're creative. It's like, no, no, no. You're already creative. You don't have to
Yeah,
show me
just
that you're
relax.
creative.
We
Exactly.
get it.
Relax.
Just get to it. Like that's what I'm
They
saying. Just relax yourself and get to it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
asking for.
So there are all these holes. And again, I'm not like, I'm pure on this. I'm coming to this pure.
Mhm.
But I already see holes. I'm like, who is this guy? Who are they? Why are the Flintstones here?
Yeah,
I see no value in the Flintstones at all. None. None.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. No, I agree with you.
Right. I see a value in the short people, the midgets or whatever they're calling them.
The dwarfs.
The dwarfs,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
No, but in the books, right? The
Mhm.
hobbits had a purpose because
Yeah.
you know, damn, I'm blanking on people's names right now. One of the hobbits discovered the ring and brought it back to the Shire. So I cannot remember his name. Damn it! Like I'm like a fake fan right now. I can't remember his name.
It's Keo, the fake fan.
Bilbo Baggins found the ring. Thank you. All right.
Wait, is that
I'm
a real
fan,
name?
all right?
Bilbo
Yeah.
Baggins? Is that a real
Bilbo
name?
Baggins
Okay,
is
wow.
the name. Frodo
Mm.
Frodo Baggins, that's his uncle.
Okay, Frodo.
So Bilbo Baggins found the magic ring from Sauron in a cave somewhere.
Wow.
And he put it in his pocket. He's like, oh, this is shiny. Oh, snap. He found it and put it in his pocket and forgot about it. And he's been holding on to this all these years. And he didn't know what it was because the hobbits are not the Harfoot evil people. They're actually nice people. And they like to drink beer and just have fun and be nice, wholesome people. And he discovered the ring. He didn't know what the ring was. He just thought his thing's pretty and he held on to it. That's the point. The hobbits are uncorrupted by man and the world around them. They're just farming, eating their rutabagas, and just chilling, living a good life. That's what they're doing right now.
Drinking their ale,
Drinking their ale,
yeah.
getting married, having some hobbit kids, and they're doing their thing. That's what the hobbits are. They're uncorrupted by the world around them. That's what they're for. I have no idea what the Harfoots are for. With the purpose for the storytelling, where they're going with it, I have no idea.
I have
and
no
you
idea.
should know.
And here's the thing.
Lord of the Rings is obvious that these guys are innocent and uncorrupted. It's obvious. They tell you from the beginning, these guys are not part of this world. And Gandalf was like, these guys are not part of the world. I'm going to tell you right now, these guys are good. They're wholesome, family-friendly hobbits. The rest of the world is like World War 18 over there, but hobbits. Wholesome.
Yeah.
Happy, wholesome.
Because the Flintstones, they have no army, no weapons, nothing. They're like backwards, basically.
Yeah, they're proto hobbits. They're the
I don't get this, man.
they're ancient hobbits.
And then again, like I said, just these warrior princesses that just showed up in white uniforms, and I'm just like, who are they? They look like they can like kick some butt, but we don't know. They just showed up almost like in a dream, so I don't know who they are.
I don't know what the hell that is either. Like, that's why people with the books are like, what the hell's going on right now?
And then why have these sort of battles like when Halbrand was like fighting people, why? Like, what was the purpose of that though? Like, what did he achieve? What did the storyline achieve?
I think it's to imply that he's got a dark side to him, and he's not what he appears. I'm like, I don't. Just show me Halbrand, Sauron, the end. Let's go. Get to it. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get a move on this thing.
Let me ask you this here because we're gonna wrap this up. Right now, thus far, 5 episodes in, IMDb is giving this show a 6.9. Overall,
if they stick the landing, I'll keep it in the 6s or whatever. But Lord of the Rings is like a 9.5.
Wait. You said if they stick the landing, you would still keep it in 6?
Yes.
So it's not like if they stick and here's the other thing, because you said
it can go lower. It can absolutely go lower.
Okay, but you said this in Kenobi too. You said if they stick the landing. Now, when you say if they stick the landing, do you mean the final episode has to be big bang bang? Because sticking the landing for me is like getting all the episodes, creating, fluidity from episode 1 to the end and giving us some excitement like in some episodes, but I don't see any excitement yet.
I want to get to a point. Explain to me what this show's about. What are you guys doing here?
Right. Yeah.
Where are all these 3 storylines getting to?
Yeah.
Is Gandalf going to start getting powers and speaking English? Like, what's going to happen? He's going to get rid of the Harfoots and get away from the evil of the Harfoots. Like, I want to know, like, where is this going? How are these 3 storylines going to meet? Because, like, I want to keep going back to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings started with the hobbits and branched off. When they had the Fellowship of the Ring, all of these people got their mission was. Frodo had to keep track of the ring. He's got to go to Mount Doom. He's got to destroy the ring. Elrond was like, I got to put these people together. We gotta get an army, help these guys in the battle, defend these 2 countries, Gondor and I forgot what the other country was. Like, we got to defend these countries and kind of slow the army and divert power so they can get the whole Frodo, get through the ring, get to the mountain, destroy the ring. They all had their
Right.
jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had a job. It started with the hobbits, and they got to the Fellowship of the Ring. They all had a job to do, and they all branched off and ran their story. Whereas these stories are all separate, and they're supposed to meet somewhere, but I don't know what they're supposed to meet at. Where are
I
you
don't know.
going with
I
this?
don't know. I
And so,
don't
like,
know,
I would have
dude.
preferred if they started in one place and all branched off and they had their own storylines. That would have been a
Yeah.
better way to go. But like,
Y-
I don't know where it's going. Why would
Yeah.
the Harfoots ever meet up with the humans?
I
What's the
don't.
purpose of that?
Again, the Flintstones. I don't even know why they're in this movie or this show. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
what are they gonna do when they get there? Like
they
these guys
have
are all no bad evil people.
they have no powers. They have no
Mhm.
weapons. They're riding around in old school big wheels. I don't get this. I don't get the Flintstones. I don't get them at all. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. Are we going to rate the 3 episodes we saw just as one, or what do you want to do? How do you want to
yeah,
do
we're,
that?
we're gonna rate this one. I I
Okay.
I give it a 6.5,
Okay, you're
and
giving the last 3 episodes a
all the last 3
6.5.
episodes 6.5.
Okay.
And the thing is though, I like the what's the black elf? I forgot his name. I can't remember his name
Oh,
right now. Uh,
Era, I forget his name.
Erador, whatever.
Yeah, I do like him too.
He's cool. I like him.
Mhm.
He's pretty chill. He's good. He's a competent fighter. Because for me, whenever you have like a story like this, I need people to be competent. Like Galadriel's competent but annoying, but he's chill. Like Erador, whatever his name is, he's chill. I don't mind him. I like him. His character's all right. You know, he likes the white chick over there. Like, all right, cool, do you, man? Like, all
An
right.
elf and a human that has never worked out before.
Yeah, I mean it has because like Elrond is half, but all right,
Mhm.
we're not gonna go there. But
Elron
yeah,
is
like
so happy all the time, isn't he? I like Elron. Elron is cool. I like Elron.
Elrond is a gangster in the movies. All right,
Mhm.
he's
Oh,
straight
really?
up gangster. Yeah, he's straight up
Okay.
gangster. He
Mm.
was leading the army that this show is supposed to get to. He
He's
was leading
so
the
happy,
army.
and he's so happy in this show,
Oh no,
dude.
it wasn't Galadriel that was a general. It was Elrond that was a general leading the army.
Wow.
And he was
Okay.
there when this
They
thing happened with the ring. He was
they
there.
totally
He's like, yo, what
flipped
the
it
hell,
then.
bro?
Wow.
He's like, humans, man, they're untrustworthy, man. Bro, you're
Mhm.
supposed to do a job. You didn't do it. Like, come on, man. But
That
yeah,
is insane.
Elrond's a badass. I'll put it like that. Elrond is a
Mhm.
badass. He garners respect. And right now, he's just happy-go-lucky Elrond, who's 1,000 years old. I don't understand that. Like
I
all
am
right.
going to okay, so all the last 3 episodes of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, I am going to give a 7.5, Keo.
Okay.
Now, the
All right.
reason why I'm giving it a 7.5 is because I just really
Mm-hmm.
like the story, the
Mm-hmm.
storytelling. Um, right now, I cannot see that this is a $500 million or 200 or $250 million movie. I cannot see that right now, thus far.
Ha!
So
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe, the money went into the moving costs going from like New Zealand to England. I don't know. But I don't
Maybe.
see I don't
Maybe.
see $250 million or $500 million production thus
Mm-hmm.
far.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, visual, the whole nine. I like the story. I mean, even as I was watching the last 3 episodes, I wasn't really looking for a battle. I was like really just wanting to
Mm-hmm.
see what the rest of the story was. So I wanted to like watch the next episode. So the
Yeah. Yeah.
story is like really sucking me in. Not even the battles, just the story.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm giving it a 7.5. It's
The
again, I'm
battles
new. I'm
the
fresh. I don't
battles
know
have to
about
be
this.
epic.
I
Based
would
on the
think so.
movies,
Yeah.
the battles have to be epic. There's no
The-
room for error here.
yeah.
The movie set the bar, and that movie's happened like 20 years ago. So you got a high mountain to climb for a battle in the
It
Lord of the Rings universe.
it would also be sad, lazy,
Mm-hmm.
um, to like just have this epic battle at the last episode. That's just completely lazy,
I
you
don't even
know.
think they're gonna have the battle. I think they're gonna do a teaser for the battle that could possibly come. I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't even think they're gonna have a battle
Dude,
because
that's
like
a money grab.
the movies, even the
Hmm.
Hobbit, they had thousands of extras fighting here in the battle. Like it looked like there's a bunch of people there. This didn't look like there's 20 people and a
Yeah.
couple of CGI. Like it looked like people were there fighting. And choreography is insane. If you realize it's real people fighting, choreography is insane.
Yeah.
That's why I would like you to watch Lord of the Rings.
I am.
Because like
I'm going.
there's no battle in the first movie. It's the second and third movie. Is all the battles are. The first movie is just like a little bit of stuff, but not the real thing.
I do have another rating. I am giving Numenor a 10.5 because that place looked
Adizillo.
so awesome. It is so awesome. I'm like, wow. It looks like something just right off the Mediterranean Sea. It's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, 7.5 for me. Keo, you gave it what, like a 6.5, you said?
6.5, yeah.
6.5.
For right now.
For right now.
We'll see if they stick the landing. We'll see how this goes. But
We'll
like
see
right
how
now,
it goes.
6.5.
I mean, we'll see. Anything else we think we want to get into, other than this here? Andor, you said maybe?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Andor on Monday. I think that's the next day I have some time. I'm gonna watch it and then I'll see if we should talk about it.
Yeah,
Maybe we could do a show about
I
that.
watched 30 minutes of the first episode and I was like, I could watch this later. It wasn't like
Yeah.
It
It's like
it
it's not a
wasn't
rush.
moving. Yeah.
It's not pro because there's only like six episodes, or whatever. Like
Oh,
half the season's
really?
done already. Yeah, they're half
Oh,
done already.
oh, dude. Okay, wow. 6
Yeah. So
episodes.
I'm gonna watch it on Monday, and
Mhm.
I'm like, all right, this is go time or no. We'll see how that goes.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.